I think we need to have a different approach. I just don't think what we've been doing in recent years is really working. It's I think we need to get to make it a bit more, to be put a finer point on it, it needs to go a bit more bonkers, really. We need to kind of make it into a big production, and rather than trying to sort of field these rather sort of, well-made and well-constructed but sort of slightly underwhelming pop songs, we need to kind of put something completely sort of mad and British and quirky and eccentric out there. And, I might be able to bring something to the table.
I think you could. We were looking through your back catalogue and we found this brilliant, basically a spoof of the German band Kraftwerk. Let's just have a look at this.
Man steckt die linke Arm ein, die linke Arm aus. Ein, aus, man stinkt das alles Man macht das Hoki-Koki und man dreht sich herum. Das ist die ganze Sache.
I love Kraftwerk, right? So I completely get this. Could you do that in 2022?
Well, I would love to, Jeremy, but I'm sure you're au fait with the Eurovision rules, and that it has to be a new composition. So that would that perhaps might exclude me from it. But yeah, I mean, so something like that. The sense of that is basically we send up Britishness and we celebrate it. I think that's the key to kind of for it to work. I think we're taking it weirdly too seriously and not seriously enough. We should make it into something daft, but also brilliant.
You wrote a song for the BBC, I think. Let's have a look at this.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, I don't know. Have you got it? Maybe you've got it yourself.
Oh, wait. Are you saying... Yeah, hang on. I'll have to unplug my headphones, Jeremy. Hold on a minute. See, I'll give you a quick blast of it. In about sort of 2007 or 2008, me and a mate, Kevin Eldon, we wrote a sort of spoof eco anthem with a Dad's Army theme. And it went like this. Put that line out, Mr. Hodges. That was the chorus. It was all about, trying to save the world with the Dad's Army theme.
That was not going to work. I love it, but that's too British, isn't it? Actually.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. I mean, that's the thing. That's just an example. But I mean, yes, something which kind of it celebrates Britishness. I don't know in what form that is. Will we take elements of, folk songs, folk dance, the traditions of British folk music, and kind of repurpose them with some fantastic rock hook or some pop hooks, something like that. Because basically what we're doing at the moment, we're getting null point. We've got null point 2 years in a row. We've come bottom in the last 5 shows. Something's not working, Jeremy. We've got to try and
we are backing you here.
Adopt a different approach.
Femi, are you backing Bill?
Yeah, I really agree with what you said there. We do need to go more bonkers. I remember we should basically capture the spirit of the 2012 Olympics. I've never felt more proud to be British than seeing the way we really celebrated Britishness in those opening and closing ceremonies. I remember the bit about the Only Fools and Horses, the 3-wheeled car when they came out as Batman and Robin. That was just quintessentially self-deprecating humour. That's British. I want to see that sort of thing in Eurovision.
Yeah, Carol, what do you think, or is it just too far gone?
I think if anyone can save it, Bill Bailey can. If we're going to engage in what has now become a spectacle, we have to look like we give a you-know-what. And I watched some of the show on Saturday. All the other acts were camp, they were wild, they were the staging was incredible. And we came on, a bloke came on in what looked like a black bin bag with 2 trombones at the side. It just did not cut it, frankly. And and Bill's right, we need a whole different approach. You look at the songs that have won before, the bonkers songs, not the one that actually got placed. Lulu, Boom Bang Bang, Brotherhood of Man, Save All Your Kisses for Me, Katrina and the Waves. These were all the bonkers songs.
No, they weren't. They were old
Lulu,
school
Boom
good
Bang
songs.
Bang.
No, they were good
You're
songs.
forgetting the time.
But we keep trying to do good songs like that, and it's not working.
But those people at the time that were in, they were big stars. We put in people now who no one knows. I'm sure young James is a fantastic musician, but nobody knows who he is.
Take some calls here, because we want to encourage Bill, because I think you could do this,
He's the
Bill.
one.
Seriously.
Well, you're not the only one.
Okay.
Lots of people think that Bill could do it. So we're going to speak to Izzy from West Yorkshire, who thinks Bill would be great.
Well, Izzy, you can tell Bill directly.
I think, Bill, you'll be a breath of fresh air. I'm 74. You're quite a bit younger than me. You've got experience in the music business. We're fighting for the singing the Bronte Society, and we call ourselves the geriatric Luddite gang. And I think you're a big comedian. I mean, when you think there were ABBA and there were that when they pulled the skirts off, there were river dance. Oh, yes. I think you'll be brilliant.
Bucks Fizz, would you? Is there? Oh, I think your screen's frozen there, Bill. Let's get another call. Storm.
Well, it's a good job Bill's screen's frozen now, because we're going to speak to Liz from London, who doesn't think Bill's quite right for Eurovision.
Oh, what? Liz?
No. Sorry. Bill, I love you.
Your screen is frozen, so it's fine.
Bill, I love you. And I voted for you in Strictly. In fact, I wish I'd put a bet on it, because I sussed you out from the beginning. But I think you're overthinking the formula. The songs that did well in Eurovision on Saturday were good songs. My favourite was Iceland. They were bonkers, but the song was harmonious and melodious. A good song cannot be beaten. And I just think also you're believing in your pop. You're doing this thing that so many reality stars do. You want to conquer the world now that you've conquered Strictly.
No, he's always been conquering the world. But
I think we should give young, new people a chance. We should have a nationwide search for an unknown and put them on the map.
Why don't we have, Liz, someone like Coldplay on? Why don't we have Adele representing us? We know this country is a fantastic musical talent where there's fantastic melting pot of talent. Why are we having unknowns on? Why don't we have someone who can sing?
But listen, we put on Ed Sheeran.
Yes,
and he comes
put
last.
him on.
That's basically the end of this country, as we know it.
He won't come last, though. That's the point.
Bill, thank you, Liz. You missed, your screen froze, so you missed what Liz said. But it was essentially, she thinks we're overthinking it.
No. You see, the thing is, we're underthinking it.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You're so right.
I mean, I agree. I tell you what, we need to watch what happened this year to Eurovision and try and supply something like what won it.
Like what?
Everything I thought was really... Bill, everything this year was really camp. Do you think you could camp it up enough to do it?
I don't.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be camp. It just has to be a bit over the top. It has to be theatrical.
Yeah.
It has to be a performance that that would sit in a kind of in a musical. If you went to see a big musical, and then there would be this song would fit into that musical. Yeah. So it doesn't. I mean, I understand what Liz is saying. It has to be a good song. You have to have good hooks. It has to be catchy. It has to something that you can sing along with. But it doesn't necessarily have to fit into the normal formula of what pop is, because that just isn't working.
Do you think?
And what
Bill,
you say about
do you think it needs loud guitars? Because I was struck that amidst all the artificiality, those guitars of that winning entrance really packed a punch there.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Jeremy. Right? You and your panel, I'm sure you know this, but live instruments are banned from Eurovision, so they're all miming. Right?
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Which is mad.
No, but I mean, they're miming to loud guitars. I suppose they don't remind me of The Darkness. This lot. I mean, I think it's something operatic.
Right.
I think. Yeah, it's like Rockaria by ELO. It's something like that we need, isn't it?
Yes. Exactly, but with an English twist, like a maypole and some like people dressed in leather doing a Morris dance with me riding a giant badger.
Exactly. I'm loving this. We're planning it right here. Storm.
Do you know what's amazing? There's a few things that we can bring up that make the phones ring off the hook. Tony Blair, Brexit, Boris Johnson. We know people are going to call the next one Eurovision. It's amazing.
Of course.
So we're going to speak to Sally now from Devon, who thinks Bill would be perfect for it.
Tell us why, Sally.
Well, I think Bill, like he said, he has a folk background, and a lot of folk music can be extremely funny. My mother had a folk background, and she only sang really funny songs, some of them quite rude. But I'd suggest something like Waltzing with Bears, which is a funny little song, and I can imagine Bill there waltzing in. He'd obviously have to wear one of these silver Diamante laced things like half of the contestants did, and be waltzing around and do something totally mad. And why not? I think we need a bit of humour in life, and Bill would be brilliant for it.
How would you start, Bill, if you were putting together a song like Sally? Would you pick up your guitar? Would you start with a chord? What would happen? You can do it for us.
I think so. Yeah. Well, yes. You want a big. I think you want something big, a hook. You want a kind of something that people can sing along to. You need it so musically it works, but it sends itself up. I mean, that's the key. You see, that's what's missing. I think it's because it's one of our greatest exports, British humour. It's one of the things we're really good at. One of the things we're known for, and that's been lacking in our Eurovision entries. And the time has moved on. I know what you mean about, in the olden days, there used to be sort of credible artists like ABBA had a song, and I think Celine Dion even was a Eurovision entry at one stage. But now it's less about sort of established artists singing one of their songs. I don't think established artists want to get involved in it. I really don't. I just think they just think, oh, this might sort of damage my credibility. I think that's why we have to go in a different direction. And I think some kind of a big song which encapsulates British humour and maybe sends up the whole notion of the whole Eurovision a little bit as well, in a kind of subtle way. I think that's the way to go. Brilliant.
And Anna Maypole. Storm.
We're going to speak to Matthew now from Stevenage, who thinks that Bill would be great too.
Good.
Lots of people thinking Bill would be fab.
He's certainly not getting nil point here on the programme. Matthew.
No, agreed. I think Bill Bailey's an excellent choice. Just to reiterate what has been said by across the panel, including Bill, Bill entering the Eurovision would serve both camps. It's firstly, he's an accomplished singer-songwriter. I've had the privilege of seeing him live. So he would tick the Eurovision box that it's not a ridiculous entry, it's a decent song, it's a decent performance, albeit obviously it's not live. But also, he would also bring back more viewers, I believe, because the vast majority of British people, like myself, see Eurovision as basically a joke. We're there laughing with Graham Norton. So it'll actually attract more viewers and more interest. And I think, we expect it doesn't matter the quality of the performer, we expect them to come last for whatever reason. But I think Bill entering it will take the comedy value of the entry, and I would hope he wouldn't come last because he has a following in Europe as well.
He won't. And Bill, the key thing is it's got to be comedy, but you've got to look like you're taking it really seriously. That's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to 100% commit to it. You have to give it both barrels. And look, okay. I mean, I don't quite buy the sort of this post-Brexit kind of revenge. I don't get that because we were getting 0 pound 20 years ago. So, it's more of, it's more about celebrating what's great about Britishness and writing a great song, but also performing it in a way that is far more, that sort of is something memorable. It's like, you want to watch this performance and at the end everyone goes, wow, what just happened? What the hell was that? Yeah. What just happened?
Brilliant.
That was that, and we're not getting that.
Well, please do it for us. We'd love to see it. We'll be behind you, Bill. Thank you very much for your time today.
Bye.
Okay.
Cheers.